Hi, this is Tom. Welcome to my channel. I have another video on using ChatGPT to do Midjourney prompts. And after a couple of weeks of wandering in the wilderness, uh, I'm happy to have something that has worked really well. I spent some time trying to get the customizable ChatGPTs to work and found that to be more trouble than it was worth. And so decided to revert back to using the standard model. Um, and what I did was I have a script that what I'm calling a script is a ChatGPT prompt that uh, you give it. And I gave that at the beginning of the session. And the way the script works is you upload an image and then it'll ask you for an option. And so far, I have four options. And the options would just be indicated by number 1, 2, 3, or 4. And if the option is number 2, like this one of the dog here, it'll prompt you for a style code and then make return ChatGPT prompts that make Midjourney prompts that have this style code. So the way I set it up was instead of simply returning Midjourney prompts, it will return a ChatGPT prompt so that you can copy and paste the ChatGPT prompt and then use that in a future session to create the type of prompts that you wanted. I thought this way would be a bit more flexible than simply having it return the ChatGPT prompts. So we got option 1, 2, 3, and 4. And the way that they're set up to, they follow the same flow, but they have somewhat different ways of instructing ChatGPT on how to create the prompts. So, for example, 1 and 2 are very similar, except that 2 will incorporate a style code. And number 3 has more of an emphasis on using an artist. So it'll look at the image and then try to think of some artist that it can reference and making the prompts. And then for style 4, option 4, it will use 5 words that it'll put together to try to capture the prompt. And what I did today was one of the channels that ChatGPT that Midjourney has is the daily theme, and the daily theme for today is Etruscan. And sort of a fun thing about these daily themes is you can help build your vocabulary, because they have lots of words that I wasn't familiar with that I've learned through participating in these daily themes. So these are the prompts that I created using the technique of what I was just showing you in this for the daily theme for Etruscan. And what I did was um, I told it about the daily theme, and I asked it to use the word Etruscan in building the prompts. And there's also something I wanted to show. Hopefully I can find this pretty quick, which is right here. So this is pretty neat. So I have this this ChatGPT prompt that I'm using. I have it in a blog post called Image Inspired Constructed Prompts, which is here. And this is the only thing I have, the only blog post I have published for this blog. So if you go to this blog, it'll come up, and if you're interested, you can just copy and paste the script that I'm talking about. And this is the name of the blog. I'll let this sit here for a few seconds in case you're interested and want to take it down. It's my name and with Tom Ewald, and then build ChatGPT, and then .blogspot.com. And if you just put that in a URL, it should take you to this blog post, and then you can copy and paste uh, this prompt that I've been speaking about. So, something I was interested in was how good a job it would do if I simply asked the question, assume I'm a new user, can you tell me how this works? And it did quite a good job with it. So I'm thinking about including a user manual for this, but the user manual would pretty much look like this. So you can just tell it, you can give it the script, and after it runs the script, just say, I'm a new user. Can you tell me how this works? And the explanation will be fine. You'll be able to use it fine just from what it explains. And so here I told it it has a daily theme called Etruscan, and I asked it to go through these prompts. I used options 1, 3, and 4. I didn't include the one with the style code, and asked it to come up with prompts um, using uh, this idea. And what I expected that it would do would be it would just come back with Midjourney prompts and like these here. Whoops, highlighted everything. These here, but it actually created a Chat GPT prompt. It would create uh, prompts that are like the one that it returned that have this Etruscan theme in it. So I thought that was pretty cool. Um, it's when you're working with ChatGPT, oftentimes you'll get nice results if you're kind of open-ended in the way that you ask it to do things, rather than try to be too specific. Now, sometimes it will backfire and it'll give you something completely different than what you want. But a lot of times, it will do something like this, which was maybe even more interesting than what I actually had in mind. So I'm going to go to the Midjourney website and just kind of go through some of these prompts or these, well, both the prompts and the images that Midjourney constructed. So these are all from Midjourney, from the channel that I was just in, the daily theme one. And this particular option is structured so that it will choose some sort of art style, and then a medium, and then the prompt itself, where it tries to bring out it's instructed to have 3 ideas to use. So we have the subject of an Etruscan banquet scene. And one of the ideas was the time of day, which is golden hour. And then another one is the warm earthly tones. That's another idea. And then the third idea is soft shadows. So the idea behind this sort of prompt is that Midjourney is limited in its context window, which is how much information it can receive. And so it's a good strategy to try to limit how much information you give to Midjourney to do. You get more predictable results that way, and also you can see what the impact is of the different instructions that you're giving to it. And so this one I quite liked. I liked all of them actually that it did. And this is using the same concept. So these were all from the same instructions that I gave to ChatGPT using option 1. And it came up with this idea here. And then this is a third example, same sort of idea using option 1. And then this was using, this is still the same option. I guess I chose, so the reason that these two are similar is I liked two of the prompts that it came up with. The Midjourney will spit out 4 prompts, and then I did 2 upscales. So that's why this one and this one, these 2 landscapes are similar. And this one is quite different. So this was something I thought that was quite cool. I think an interesting thing about ChatGPT is that it has a wide imagination, so to speak. It's using the same concept, but it did it in a different way. So we got two different things. We got this banquet scene here, and then we got landscapes, of which I chose two. And then we have this other option um, of a bronze sculpture. And here, this is similar to what we were looking at, but this was option three, where option three will use an artist. So this was inspired by Andrea Mantenga, who I'm not familiar with this artist. But if the Midjourney uh, bot has been trained on the artist, you can get really nice results referencing an artist. And the idea is not that you're going to reproduce something that anyone would confuse for the actual artist. It's just that it's a way of triggering Midjourney to get nice effects. And you can choose, I mean, if you just do something simple like, Sunset uh, by Monet, um, just that in itself will be enough to come up with images. And if you choose more modern artists, like Banksy is an interesting one to use. Just you can have very simple prompts just by mentioning the artist's name and get nice results. So this was quite nice. And here's another one, same artist. Um, Might be the same prompt. Yes. Is that the same? Yes, it's exactly the same prompt. So these were two of the four that Midjourney did. I like both of them, and you can see they're quite different, um, but quite nice. And then here, this one, if you're familiar with Turner, this is obvious. Uh, I think you can see Turner's influence in the Midjourney image that was created using that same sort of scheme, where it's got the uh, the style, the artist, the medium, and then three ideas. The subject, and now it says a storm. That's one idea. Dawn is another, and then a tumultuous sea is the third idea. And then here's one based on Matas, and quite nice too. And here we have some prompts that are based on option four. So option four just it picks 5 words, and what I thought it would do would be to put in a trust. The way I set it up is there's words one, two, three, and four, and you can see that word is kind of loosely used. Like it's okay to have 2 words, but the idea is to have like a single concept that's not elaborate, like a prepositional phrase, but just like a word or two. And then the third word is a wild card. So I gave it instructions about how to do words one, two, four, and five. But there's still a wide range of choice within the instructions. Um, and then the third word is a complete wild card. And I thought that it would understand to put Etruscan as the wild card, but instead it just did it the normal way, but it based it on Etruscan themes. But it didn't interpret that what it should do would be to use the word. So I just added the word at the end and had 6 words. Because for the daily theme in Midjourney, you have to have the word Etruscan to be a part of the prompt. So I explained that carefully for the first one, actually the first couple. So it did those correctly. It had the word Etruscan. This one, it didn't quite understand that, but it worked really well. I just added Etruscan at the end, and it understood to use Etruscan to frame the themes. And so it had Etruscan ideas in mind in these um, prompts that it created. And this strategy you can get works quite well. If you can limit what you're giving to the Midjourney prompts, to the Midjourney bot, to just a few words, that can often work very well. And especially, I find that words like dusk or golden hour, these sorts of words um, are quite effective in prompting Midjourney prompts. So and then again here, this was, I think I did two of these because I liked both of these a lot. Uh, and it has the same concept in mind, but same overall concept. But you can see that these prompts are quite different. And I thought these were quite cool. This is actually the same exact prompt, just two of the four images that Midjourney came up with. And then this was the third one that it came up with using the same sort of scheme. And so these are all the Etruscan ones I did for the daily theme. And I wanted to show a couple more that I really liked a lot. This I didn't use with the Etruscan, but I did this yesterday using option 2, where you give it a style code. And so, and um, all of these images that I've been showing in prompts, the mechanism is I give it an image. So let's see if I have these up. So here's the images. Um, let me find these. Uh, here's the images here. So these are images that I've uploaded to ChatGPT, or um, I've saved on my computer so that I can upload it to ChatGPT. So I gave it an image, like one of these images, and then it asks me for what option I want. The option is that I tell it how to construct the Midjourney prompt. And so it does a combination of looking at the image and then following the instructions on how to construct the prompt, and then creates uh, the Midjourney prompts from that. So for this one, I really like this style a lot. So you can give, this is an option that came out a few weeks ago for Midjourney, where you can use a style code to give to it. And so I'm using this style code, which produces these sorts of vibrant, colors, which I thought was really pretty. So I gave it an image, which didn't look anything like this, and then gave it instructions. Um, but when I say it didn't look like this, it was the same style code. So it did have the same sort of vibrancy to it. And ChatGPT caught on that, and then thought of, oh, what are the sorts of subjects that would work with that? And then I refined it further, where I said, make them about Paris. And so it created prompts about Paris from the image that I loaded up and with the style code. And so I thought these were really pretty. I'll show a few of these, all using the same sort of theme. So this is using the same style code, but it's not involving Paris. So these were the Paris ones. I think there's four of them. And then there's some more using the same style code, but not Paris. Isn't that pretty? That's another one. And so, yeah, you can see, I thought this was really a cool one too. I think it's just uh, uh, really amazing um, how you can get such varied results from ChatGPT, and how it's able to abstract ideas and just come up with different ideas, following a structure that you give it. And these are all using the same style code. And what I found in working with ChatGPT is that it's uh, it's not so good at coming up with things on its own. So if you define a concept for it and ask for an implementation, it's not so good at that. But if you can give it an example of what you have in mind, it's just I think this technology is just amazing on just the creativity um, yeah, of what it's able to come up with. Well, once again, if you're interested in trying out uh, the prompt yourself, please go to my blog at tommywellbuildchatgpt.blogspot.com, and you can leave a comment for me either at the blog itself or on this video. Uh, Thanks a lot.